Hi, I'm Paul Canham from Weird Sisters Brewery, and I'm very pleased to be joining you today at the Strumpshaw Virtual Tree Fair. In this brief video, I'm going to be showing you how I make my beers, so come along with me. And here's my brewery. So it's now just after 7 AM and we've started brewing. And the first thing to do is heat lots of water up. So here's my pot, the water's all been measured out, and you can see I've just got the gas burner going, and it needs to be heated up from where it is now to about 73 degrees centigrade. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go and have some breakfast. So I've had my breakfast, the water's up to temperature. I'm now mixing the water and the grains together in what's called the mash tun. Then this will sit here for about an hour, and what it does is it turns all the starch into fermentable sugars. So the next stage is the sparge. What I'm doing here is I'm running hot water into the mash tun very slowly and then letting it run out the other side, and as you can see the gorgeous colour, and then I slowly collect this and it'll be transferred to this vessel, the copper, where it'll be boiled, and we'll add the hops. And now we've got a good rolling boil. I've added the first lot of hops, they're in this muslin bag in here, and this will boil for an hour, and we'll add some more hops at the end for the smell and the taste. Now most breweries will add what's called finings to their beer in the last stages of the boil. That's to aid clarity. Now often this is isinglass or gelatin, which are animal products. Now I use a tablet called a protofloc tablet, which is seaweed. Drop that in, and because it's seaweed based, all my beers are suitable for vegans. Right, so the boiling stage is just finished. I've turned the gas off. What I need to do now is cool it down quite quickly. It needs to go from 100 degrees centigrade down to 18, which is the temperature at which I can pitch the yeast. Now I need to do that fairly quickly, because if you let it slow down really slowly, it can pick up infections. So you have to chill it quickly and get the yeast in. Now you might have been wondering what this copper coil was for earlier. What I do is I connect it up to my tap, run cold water through it, and that helps to bring the temperature down very quickly. And the water which comes out the other side is hot because it's been heated up with this boiling water. So what I do is I collect that in buckets. I can then use that, save all that up, use that to wash my equipment out, and then when it's cooled down I can use that to water the flowers and trees in my garden. Now transferring the beer into the fermentation bucket. With the grain that I used today, I'm going to pop some of it into some food bags and put it in the freezer, because what I'll do is when the beer is ready to drink in 6 weeks time, I'm going to use the grain to bake a loaf to go with it. What will happen is that the rest of it will go next door to feed their chickens. Right, so the fermentation vessel is in the chamber now. You can see the temperature at the moment is 20.7, but the freezer part, the cooling bit, is on, so it's going to bring it down to 19 degrees. It'll hold it at 19 degrees. Last two things to do is add the yeast, and I also add this product here. I don't know if you can see this very well, Clarity Firm. The reason I add this is it reduces the gluten, as you can see on the label there, and what it does is it makes most of the beers suitable for people who are gluten intolerant. Can't guarantee it's gluten free, but everybody I know who has a gluten intolerance is able to drink the beer without any problems. Right, so I'll pop that in, we'll leave it to ferment, and I shall see you in 2 weeks. Right, so it's got lovely golden colour. Smells good. And it tastes good. So let's get bottling. The first step of bottling is to make sure that everything is clean and sterilised. So I use this sterilising solution to spray the inside of the bottles and then put them on the bottle tree to drip dry. So while the bottles were drip drying, I sterilised the rest of the equipment, the hoses and the bottle caps and everything. And what I'm doing now is I'm transferring the beer from the fermenter to what's called a bottling bucket. So it transfers into there, and I'm going to be stirring in some priming sugar, and we'll be bottling from this. Right, so now we're starting to get somewhere. The beer's been transferred to the bottling bucket. It's had the priming sugar added. The bottling wand has been attached, and it's just a matter now, if I can video this, of putting the beer in, and then when the beer reaches the top, which it will do in just a few seconds, here it goes. Take it nice and easy. There it is. Remove the bottle, and the displacement leaves just the right amount of gap at the top of the bottle. So now I need to do this for the rest of the bottles. So now the beer has been bottled and capped. Let's put it in the conditioning chamber, which is a modified freezer. So it's a freezer with a greenhouse heater there and a temperature probe attached, and it is set for 19 degrees centigrade, and it will sit there for 2 weeks to bottle condition, and then the temperature will be dropped down to 10 degrees for 2 weeks, so it'll be ready to drink in 4 weeks time. So see you in 4 weeks. Right, so the bottle's been conditioning for 4 weeks, and it's now time, the critical point, to open it up and taste it. That's good. Cheers.